years to Christ, after 80 years on earth, and over 45 years in the priesthood, and until Christ calls us home. You are all welcome to yet another interesting and historic episode of Sonax TV, Uyo Catholic Media. Today, we have a rare privilege of meeting two remarkable servants and priests of God and veterans of the Catholic priesthood in the Catholic Diocese of Uyo, Very Reverend Father John Peter Udo and Very Reverend Father Ephraim Efyong of Fyong. These two octogenarian priests who have given more than 4.5 decades of their lives to the service of God and His church. Fathers, you are highly welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Fathers, you are highly welcome.
Thank you very much.
As we welcome them, we must first remember with gratitude those who walked this sacred path before us, who stand today on the shoulders of men and women whose faith, sacrifice, and perseverance. In speaking of the beginning of the Catholic priesthood in Nigeria, we can't forget the very first indigenous priest, Very Reverend Father Paul Emechete, ordained priest on the 6th of January 1920. And afterwards, a few of them followed. But for our own South-South region, the first son of our soil, the first Ibibio man to become a priest, and then by the grace of God, the first bishop of Nigeria and the first cardinal of West Africa, was no other than Dominic Ignatius Cardinal Ekandem. So we thank them for being pathfinders. Maybe you sung them in Onion. So we are here today with our brothers who have reached 80 years plus and have served God for over 45 years in Uyo Diocese. So I'd like to begin with Father Ephraim of Fyong. Father, what really inspired you to the sacred priesthood, and how is it that you are still saying yes to Jesus up till today, after 80 years of age and 45 years in the priesthood?
Thank you very much. First of all, I owe a lot of thanks to my parents, who were very staunch Catholics. Was baptized at infancy and then brought up in the Catholic faith, solidly in the Catholic faith. After that, a certain Mr. Ebieret took me as the house help. And Mr. Ebieret was the real inspirator. Because by the time I wanted to go to Holy Trinity Secondary School in Biakong, he went and told my father, no, this is not a secondary school material. You should go to the seminary. So I lost 1 year. Then took the entrance examination to the seminary. I passed and went into St. John's preparatory seminary. In those days, you have to go to the preparatory seminary before you go to the main seminary at Afabong. So the struggle continued.
Thank you so much, Father, for telling us that you had the inspiration from one Mr. Edet.
Aloysius Basi Edet.
Thank you so much. And to you, Father John Peter Udo, can you tell us what inspired you into the priesthood?
Well, thank you very much. If I really want to narrate a lot of things that actually brought me into the priesthood, it would be quite plenty. But for the meantime, I just want to say that I was born in 1945, and 2 years later, 1947, I don't know how I got the story because nobody told me. My father in 1947 actually brought me because I was born in Abak in now Ikotek Benet Diocese. I was born there. He brought me to one of the stations there, Manta, and actually when I was 2 years old, he gave me out to one priest, Reverend Father Hanifi. I suppose he's dead now, and actually said, "This is my first son, and I offer him to be a priest." And I still remember, like I said, I don't know how I actually knew it because I was not supposed to know that kind of thing because nobody told me that he signed the sign of the cross on my forehead and said, obviously this will be a priest. Thereafter, I had gone on, but we are quite plenty in my family. We were 10 in number. And I just want to say my father was a very, very, very poor man, pauper, but he had the wealth of children. And incidentally, after my primary school, which I finished in 1960, I had to go into being trained as a carpenter. Incidentally, I'm a carpenter by profession. I trained in 1960, 61, 62, 63, and early 64. I actually got freed and then started my workshop as a carpenter. I was actually very small until actually, while still in training in the carpentry workshop, which was established in Holy Family College, one Reverend Father, Father John Cunningham, I'm meant to understand he's no more a priest today, but if he's alive, I hope he will be able to hear this. He actually asked me one day, "Hey John, can't you go into the seminary?" I told him that my father wasn't buoyant enough to be able to send me to the seminary. So he said I should go and take the entrance exams. Again, I didn't actually know how on earth I would have the money to go into the seminary. But one very thing really strikes me. In those days as an apprentice, I was having little bits of money from little pieces of work that I had actually done. And I kept that money. I don't know why on earth I kept that money. I saved that money. In fact, to cut a long story, after I had gone to take the entrance to the exams, and it came to a point where I had to pay for prospectus and everything, that was when I broke that little safe and took out the money to buy a lot of things to go into the seminary. So that's it.
Thank you so much, Father. That's interesting. We have heard from Father John that he was a carpenter by profession before joining the seminary. And I am very much aware that the two of them are teachers. So I'd like to begin with Father Fion on the second point. Father, as a teacher and as a priest, we all know that you also have passion for farming. Two of you have passion for farming. And Father John is also a musician. So how have you been able to combine your profession as a teacher and your pastoral duties as a priest for these 45 years?
Actually, I had a passion for teaching. Right from when we started a minor seminary, we were teaching catechism here and there in villages after during the holidays. And then after we went to the senior seminary, I thought you were allowed to to bring out your talent. I thought I was interested in teaching. And I taught in an Islamic school, and then two secondary schools, two ordinary secondary schools. So my inspiration came from there. And when I came back, I had it probation for 2 years. First year, 1979-80, Cardinal Canem Seminary. And then Junior Assumption Junior in Donabum. So that boosted my inspiration for teaching.
Okay.
So immediately I was ordained I had that passion. I went to Calabar, and there they gave me the teaching appointment in 1982.
Okay.
So I came back and started in the public schools. Actually, they really needed Catholic teachers, and Catholic priests were special teachers for the schools
Thank you.
because you just go to the classroom. I mean, your appearance as a Catholic priest would make the difference. You go into the staff room, the teachers will break their conversation, and some will simply poke fun and say, "You said something. Now the priest has come. Say it again."
Thank you.
So that was influence on the staff as well. So since then, I taught in many schools, regional churches, Harafintan, the one, and all that, Holy Trinity Mbiakong. So I retired in Holy Trinity Secondary School in Mbiakong after I had completed 35 years with the government.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Father. And to you, Father John, you were carpenter first and later became a teacher. And we all know in this diocese that you are a musician. So how have you positively affected these in your pastoral life as a priest, using it to attract people to the priesthood?
Oh, well, first of all, I would like to say this, that is one adage in my language, the Bible language, which I know it says,
Thank you.
So I just want to say this, that actually I never thought initially that I should be a teacher. But like I said, my father was very poor, and I happened to have been helped by the priest. Late Reverend Father John McGuinness was a part of one who helped me financially to get to the seminary and finish. But then during the war, in 1967, inevitably, we had to run away from Queen of Apostles Seminary to continue at Holy Family College.
Wow.
So at Holy Family College, well, we got on quite fine. And then after the exams, my father unfortunately fell a victim of the war. And I, as the senior son, I was thinking really what to do in order to be able to help my brothers and my mother. And that's where, not that I had initially the thought to become a teacher. And I felt if I went to the teacher training college, I would certainly have a job immediately to be able to feed my brothers and sisters and my mother. And that's how I went into the teacher training college, and I came out.
Thank you.
And successfully. And my first year teaching was actually in Loreto Girls Grammar School, the school now that is called Loreto Girls Juniorate.
Okay.
After I finished it, I felt, because I still had the thought, the mind of going back to train as a priest. And I still had that. I felt I had actually tested the girls' secondary school. I felt I should test the boys' secondary school and be able to see if I would be able to go to the seminary, go back to the seminary. That's where I actually went to the state school board, and I was employed and sent to St. Augustine Secondary School, Uranyang, to teach. And within that period of teaching, I was into music. And that's where my family, with the help of my brother, Mr. Patrick Peter Udo, he actually helped us to form a band group called the Doves. And we were playing the music and supplying music at feasts and so on, celebrations. And it was there that after I finished, I had to resign and go back to the senior seminary where I was sent to Jos. And coming back, well, I felt everything that I actually had been doing, teaching, because I taught in the junior seminary at Farmer Singh. I taught there, and then that's all. Then I continued my priestly life. So incidentally, the priestly life is necessarily a part of the work is to teach. And I'm very comfortable with that because, first of all, I've been trained as a teacher by profession, and at the same time, the pastoral work, which is necessarily a part of teaching, is quite comfortable with me.
Thank you, Father. Thank you so much, Father. You've just mentioned your seminary, St. Augustine Major Seminary, Jos.
Yes.
Am I right? Meaning,
Yeah.
Father Ephraim also went to the same seminary.
Yes.
And you were you colleagues in the seminary, were in the same class? And then we want to know your struggles in the seminary in Jos, leaving the South region, as at that time, Cross River State, not Akwa Ibom, traveling to the northern part of this country. How was the experience, your journey, your travels, your struggles in the seminary, and going to another land that does not speak your language? So what were your struggles, your regrets or disappointments?
Actually, we were not colleagues.
Okay.
We were contemporaries.
Okay. Okay. No problem.
I was sent to the seminary. 5 of us, we were the first set
Okay.
to go to Jos in 1973.
1973.
Yes.
Okay.
I had a problem with my bishop sending me to Jos.
Okay.
A certain direction was to go to Jos. I was to go to Enugu. But Andrew suddenly disappeared that night. And the bishop said, "You are going to Jos." I said, "No. Those of us who did Latin in the seminary are going to Jos, are going to Enugu." The bishop told me, "Are you dictating to your bishop? Get away from here." He drove me away. And that I sent my transport money to me. And my friend Augustine Bassi, late Father Augustine Bassi,
Wow.
brought transport money and persuaded me, "Let us go, we shall be well."
Wow.
So we went to, arrived there September 1973.
Okay.
The struggle was quite okay. The whole of life of the priest is struggle.
Yeah.
So year by year, it went on and on until I had a problem.
Okay.
I had a problem that brought me out for some time on probation by Rector, my bishop, that was causing trouble for 6 years running. And the bishop read the letter to me. He asked me, "Why were you causing trouble for 6 years running?" I told my bishop, I didn't know, but even in this minor seminary, if you disturb first year, you are booked. Second year, you are booked. Third year, you are fired. How come that I caused trouble for 6 years running without a trace in my file? My bishop kept quiet a bit. And the bishop said, "I shall answer your query after you do a probation for me for 1 year."
Wow.
And what was the query? How come? You're asking me how come? I shall answer that query when you do a probation for me. That's why I did the first year in the seminary, the second year in the juniorate. The seminary journey, the journey to Jos year by year, and what happens there, very exciting. And in fact, we are very happy we went to Jos, those of us went to Jos, because such a free environment that you develop yourself personally in many things you would want to do. If you're a farmer, you're allowed to farm.
Beautiful.
So Pauline was a photographer, he was allowed to read. But John Odo was versatile,
Yes.
and he was allowed to vibrate.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so the journey was quite exciting.
Thank you so much for that. That's beautiful. So, Father, I would like to ask you, after 45 years in the priesthood, has there ever been a time in your life, in your deepest recesses of your heart, you said, "I regret it"? Or was there a time you said, "I'll just have to pack my things and leave the priesthood," or abandoning Christ? Has there ever been such a moment in your life, a crisis?
I would want to say emphatically that I've never had such a time,
Okay.
and I don't imagine that I can have such a time,
Beautiful.
especially as at this time.
Yeah.
I thank God that I have been a priest, and I enjoy being a priest. And in fact, let me envisage the next question. Possibly, you would ask me. Suppose if you're given
Opportunity.
the opportunity
In the next to begin again.
yeah, I would still want to become a priest because
Beautiful.
God knows. God, I have seen that this is the way, and that's all about it.
Thank you so much for this. Beautiful, really, really beautiful that you have it at the very deepest part of your heart that you want to serve God over and over again, even given the opportunity to begin over again, you still be a priest. So, Father Ephraim, what would you say? Has there ever been a time in your life that you felt disappointed by your superiors, felt you should abandon Christ, abandon the priesthood?
Not at all. Once upon a time, Bishop Fashina came here to conduct a retreat for us. And incidentally, it was on the 12th of August.
Your birthday.
I was to flank him and then preach. Ask them, you know, today's my day, my birthday. They said, then why did you bring me on today? If I keep you here for 3 hours, it's small. Mm-hmm. So I told everybody, the priesthood is your reserve given to you by God himself. He who puts his hand to the plow and runs away is not fit for the kingdom. Yes. Therefore, hold on to your priesthood. That my priesthood, I have it in my right hand. Yes. And I use my left hand to protect it. Beautiful. Nothing can take it from me at any given time. So the priesthood is just wonderful. And had a challenge. There was a mix-up. People didn't really know why I was sidelined for 4 good years plus. Okay. But then I utilized that chance as an opportunity to do so many things. Go for trainings here and there, farm all around, join clubs and attend meetings and all that. And then a girl told me, my brother is a priest, he's writing. And you're sitting down, why not start to write? Yes. I told the girl, that's something good you have told me, I will do it.
Thank you.
So the priesthood is wonderful. Hold it and pursue it. It is something you take to the end, and that's where you obtain your reward.
Dear viewers, we've still been armed with our 2 veteran octogenarian priests who have crossed the threshold of 80 years of age and have served God for over 45 years. It has been wonderful. So, I'd like to move a little to your health. Father, what is the secret about your good health? 2 of you over 80 years, still healthy and strong. You are not with any walking stick. And sometimes we see even the younger ones having health challenges. So, Father, I know you have something to tell us about good health and how to take care of yourself as a priest.
Yeah, I just want to say that first and foremost, the very fact that I was sent on mission to Ogoja Diocese has been really an opportunity I can never regret in my life, and has actually made me to be who I am today. And that is that when I went on mission to Ogoja Diocese, I saw one Reverend Father Ibaji. I don't know if he's alive now, but if he's alive, I wish him every amount of good luck in his life and so on. I actually experienced or saw him at all times going to herbs, doing everything herbs. And I started following him. And I started saying that actually herbs, not that I'm condemning the orthodox medicine at all, but the natural thing which Dr. Sebi says, let your food be your medicine and let your medicine be your food, and so on. So I actually when I came back to Uyo Diocese, I saw myself completely converted into herbs. And so long I have had a lot of herbal food in my life and so on. and especially as I learned that juice, preparing green juice and drinking that every morning and evening could give you life, and I actually went into it. I tell you, it had been very marvelous and making me the way I am. Yes, if not for the fact that people who see me out there with these little white beards, they keep calling, if the beards are not there, they keep saying boy, 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 and I say, oh my God, at 80 years, somebody's still calling me boy, and that's why I decided to leave these white beards, so that people may know that I'm actually an old man. But even then, you know, people see possibly my skin and so on. Yes, it is because I go into a lot of herbs. I drink a lot of juice, and especially the fact that I've read that if anybody who is A positive or A positive and A blood genotype, they are susceptible to blood pressure and malaria, and incidentally they go into a lot of choosing green herbs. That's how I've lived. And then I don't eat a lot of all these foreign foods and so on. A lot of things don't come into my. In fact, let me tell you one thing, maybe it may be funny, and that is that if you send meat, eggs, bread, margarine, some message to my house, they won't be able to locate my house because they have never entered there. Then you can imagine what that means. I don't eat all those things, which can actually create problem in the body.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. Father, it's wonderful to have you. Dear viewers, it might interest you to know that Father John was born on the 11th of November 1945, and Father Ephraim was born on the 12th of August 1946. Two of them have crossed the biblical age of 80, still waxing stronger and still saying yes to Jesus in the Catholic priesthood, serving within the particular church of Uyo, having Most Reverend Dr. John Ebebeya as a bishop. So, Father Ephraim, before we end, I would like you to tell the younger generations coming, what should they do to continue to say yes to Jesus when they are met with crisis, difficulties? As you have said, there are moments in your life you have met with some disappointment, and yet you did not give up. You still said yes to Jesus. So what's your advice to the younger ones coming?
The younger ones are come and they will always come because of continuity. But with it till Christ comes back.
Okay.
When you are ordained as a young priest, you have everything available to you to eat and drink. Be yourself. Take the much you can. You have to take. And know what you take. Don't jump into eating and drinking. Do a lot of sports. Here and there, try and join clubs. The church doesn't say you shouldn't. We are a member of many clubs.
Beautiful.
I play tennis with a USAF club.
Beautiful.
Since 1979. Your club, the same thing. The prisons club, the same thing. And all around, I'm still hungry for such groups to join in. Like now, we thank our governor who has established a center, Old People's Home.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they call is it Bemyong?
Okay.
Along the Road. I'm a member of that center. If I'm not there 1, 2, 3 days, they call me. Why are you not there? Because there you have games facilities. I play Scrabble. I play table tennis there because there's no lawn tennis.
Okay.
And then there is gym, the medical facility, everything the governor has done very, very well. Therefore, the young priests have to open up to life. Associate with your colleagues. And not deceive yourself thinking you are deceiving them. Also, open up to, every priest anyway, should open up to the parishioners. Don't close your door against the poor and open your door to the rich. You do not know what that poor person is bringing to you. If people say, we send this person away. You don't know you have, it is Christ that you are sending away. So embrace everybody. The youth corps members. I was very close to youth corps members. They used to tell them in the camp, if you don't like Akwa Ibom, visit one place before you go back home, so that back home you have something to tell your people. And on Sunday, they will arrive on Saturday or Friday. Saturday, tidy up. Sunday, they will stay the whole day with me in my parish. A whole lot of them. And we were worrying, is he able to accommodate them? And a lot of, I was breeding chickens. If I had 2,000 broilers, then I could spare some.
Yes.
If I had 2,000 layers, I could sell some eggs. So that was, I did that for many, many, many years. And it is now that I've seen that that really is paying off. You give in order to get. And that is it. God gives you. You are a vendor, a messenger. Give what you are given. And then those things will come back. Right now, I think my young man may be watching me in Ibadan. He did your service here into the year 2000 and 2000. Okay. I appeared in Lagos on an interview like this. He saw me. I told the wife, this is the priest I've been talking about. Let's go. Come, gather the children. They came, and after that, the wife said, what are we doing? We must go and seek him. They flew in all the way from Ibadan to 5-star. I lodged there. On Sunday, they came to my parish. Wonderful. Till today, we are still communicating, and it's helping me a great deal. So what I was doing, I never wasted the comeback. So the priest should be open to life.
Beautiful.
And to people. Give, because God is giving you in order to give. And if you don't give, you won't even get. Yeah. If you don't give, you won't get, because you're closing your hand. So God has been gracious.
Thank you so much, Father, for such a wonderful expression of yourself to us, the younger ones coming. The two priests have told us clearly, Father is more likely a vegetarian, and Father Fyong has come up with the aspect of exercises. So please, dear viewers and younger ones, let us try to take good care of ourselves, to live up to the age God has kept for us. Let us not be careless with our life. We would like to wrap up by saying one or two things. Father of Fyong has written some good books. As a teacher, he has kept legacy for generations yet to come. So Father, can you name few of your books so that in case people want to buy few of them?
Yes, I went into writing when I had difficulties.
Okay.
Because if one door closes, another has opened. So I wrote my first book, 2021. That's when I presented the book.
Caesar.
The book is Caesar or God.
Caesar or God. That's good.
Caesar or God. And people were so excited to see that book, and they encouraged me. You could write. Why didn't you write all this all along? So now I've written over 10 books now.
Beautiful.
I think 12, yeah. But I could publish 3.
Okay.
The first one is conflict resolution.
Conflict.
How to resolve conflict without a fight. Professor Roydem says that is a new proposal on conflict resolution, and it is for everybody, every household, how to resolve conflict without a fight. This is for the family, for the wife, for the children, and all. It's for all. And now, the next one, a governor emphasizes on vernacular studies in schools. So I have written on, the caption is Ebut me erang. Sinam na ebrori ma erang. Korok babi ya erang. Ebut isi awu iya kakidam. So eboro buanya. Akba ma fasu iya. Most yoga or parubuya. If you like, talk. Otherwise, you will die on hate.
Wow, that's great.
The next one, it has 4 chapters.
Okay, let's just go to the next one.
We have Nsama. Sinam Nsama Bunayan. Squirrel-like animal with bulging eyes. And then, why Asasa has never perched on a tree. The other day, so that's the book, the first book adopted for secondary schools.
Okay.
By the State Education or State Ministry of Education for JSS 3.
Congratulations for that.
Thank you very much. And the next one is Ntotongo Ifyongyan, Wisdom of Sages. I've written over 300, and the people were very excited to see it, and now they have adopted that in the state for secondary school for SS 3. Wow. So those are my 2 books now that I have published. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 years.
Okay.
I still have many more to publish.
Thank you so much, Father. Father John, please, we thank you for, I remember vividly the way you celebrate Mass. And when it's time for the gospel, you read it in the very local dialect. Efek, you turn it directly to Ibibio. So what would be your advice to the young ones about the language that they speak? Because we are in a society where some of our local dialects are facing off. So what would you say?
Yeah, thank you very much. Before I give a little answer to that, I would like to say that some years ago, although I'm still working on it to add more pages and so on, I've written a book called Go Back to Yesterday, which is explicitly and completely about our health and a natural way of life.
Yes.
Then about the EBBO thing, and first and foremost, I don't really know how to say this, but yes. Itip mi masih tang abo gabay felaminga manaka back. I was born in a back, brought up in a back. In fact, every of my thing, I've done it there. All my primary and secondary school, I've been there. So incidentally, I was speaking Anang when I was quite young until my father decided to bring me back home, where I'm from, to get back the BBO. So after getting the BBO, now at a point, I still kept saying, I still remember one time, I went to Calabar, and I happened to have been asked to, I think I actually delivered the sermon there. And I still remember, in fact, with no bias at all, I can't fail to say this, but with no bias at all. Then immediately I finished, one Reverend sister told me that they were saying, come on. And so so with that now, I said, okay, no problem. Especially when I came back from Ogoja, I decided to really see how on earth I can change the Efik language to Ibibio. After all, I've read in books, which I suppose is true, because that book, nobody has actually tried to correct it or actually oppose it. That is one Don Market, one Ibibio. And in those days, where there was that matrilineal descent. So people, all those and all that thing, they were speaking Ibibio until all these dialects came out. So with that gave me the impetus to actually see everything, do anything and everything possible to be able to read the Efuk in Ibibio. And so far, it has become a part of me. I can't even think in terms of reading the Ibibio. And that's why all the more reason I'm very happy that at least there is this Ibibio group where they write the Bible in Ibibio and so on, although the letters, I'm used to the ancient ones, and not the present ones. Okay. But all the same, I still have to tell us and the young ones, please, for heaven's sake, love what you have, especially this time around. I know that I can manage myself, expressing myself in English, but more often than not, especially in my parish, I go ahead and do everything in Ibibio. Only occasionally I use English and so on and so forth. So I encourage anybody and everybody, in fact, many of my brother priests, to see how on earth, after all, it's not difficult, to see how they can translate or interpret whichever one you want to use from the Efuk to the Ibibio, especially reminiscent of the fact that they said, and all of these and so on and so forth. That means we're all from the same mother and so on, with the matrilineal descent. So incidentally, everybody should go back to speak what you learn. Don't be shy and ashamed, which unfortunately is something that I've been observing, especially in many of my brother priests.
Thank you so much, fathers. Dear viewers, we have been honored with our octogenarian priests who have lived on earth for over 80 years and have served God in his vineyard for over 45 years in the Catholic Diocese of Rio. They are still saying yes to Christ and will still say yes until God calls them home. So, dear fathers, before we go, one last sentence to your viewers. What would you say to them? Father Ephraim, I'll begin with you.
Yes, I'm so much concerned about the church. Something I didn't mention, I'm going to mention now. I give that as my parting gifts.
Okay.
To all our priests, especially the young priests. Keep your mind open when the bishop wants to do the appointments.
Beautiful.
Go to wherever you are sent. The bishop is only an instrument in God's hand, working. Wherever you are sent to is where God is sending you to. Don't think of a big parish, don't think of a small parish. If Amaran parish today is poor, how rich was Amaran parish when the first priest set foot there? If a song is poor, how rich was a song when the first priest set foot there? I want to go take it, want to go be the CKC, want to go to all the big places. How many big places are there to accommodate you? Therefore, you are going to be frustrated when you are sent to where you would not imagine you should have gone.
Thank you.
So, I thank the moderator for bringing me here today. I thank all the crew that have made things happen today. They have done very, very well. May God bless them.
And to Father John, we have heard from Father as his parting gift that the vow of obedience, the promise of obedience, is intimately connected to the sacrament of others, which we all received. So what will be your parting gifts to your viewers and the younger ones?
Oh, well, first of all, I want to say this. Let my brother priest and every parishioner anywhere and everywhere in this diocese do everything possible to be reading the Bible in Ibibio language.
Beautiful.
And to my brother priest, I want to say this. Please, for heaven's sake, God gave you 10 fingers. Put your hands into the soil. Do not wait to be given anything and everything. Let the people know that you can equally help. You're not a weakling. You are not fully and exclusively and explicitly dependent on them. Let them bring in whatever little they have, and you bring in whatever little you have. Oh, that would be wonderful. In other words, do not be lazy. Whatever you are able to do, especially putting your hands into the soil, well, farming, please go ahead and do it. And so that you may be able to keep well. Personally, if they are doing whatever they are doing there, in my parish, I farm a lot. In spite of my age, I farm a lot, and I produce my food, sweet potatoes, yams, and so on. Even presently, I got quite a lot of number of yam stands and so on. In other words, what I'm saying is that, please, my brother priest, even if you are in a big parish, okay, what you may call it, a big parish, and so on, and maybe there is no land for you to plant, at least do one thing or the other. Do not allow the people to feel that you are completely and fully dependent on them. Let them know that you are not a weakling. And if you are in the rural parish, come on, go ahead and do something. And they produce, you produce, and you eat. If in fact, therefore, Adam Magidam for, and the Kabu name Canada, on of in there. Therefore, Snowball song, Canon Namutim, and so on. More people, maybe Meko. I can say that again, but I get the again, Sana.
Dear viewers, thank you so very much. Thank you, the Sonax TV of the Your Catholic Media. We firmly believe that you have been enriched by the wealth of experience of our two elderly brothers, Very Reverend Father Ephraim Efyong and Very Reverend Father John Peter Odo. I firmly believe that through the ceaseless intercession of our Blessed Mother Mary, the Mother of Priests, and by the venerable accompaniment of all the saints, they have been dutiful, dedicated to their work till the end. And I firmly believe that the remaining years of their life, they'll still continue to say yes to Christ. And for you viewers, our younger ones, remember that time is ticking. Do what you have to do that is good. Do not take anything for granted. May God bless us all through Christ our Lord.
Amen.
Thank you once again. God bless you.